Om Sahana Vavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Saravavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And we'll share the screen here. January 21st in Asia. And we have our first topic today. Drawing from something we haven't looked at for a long time. Cultivating 9 key spiritual qualities in children. And these 9 concepts also apply to teachers with students as well as supervisors with staff. So it's not strictly for those who are parents with children. It has other applications as well as you can reflect on it as it applies to you. Introduction. Parents can consciously and systematically develop key qualities in their children that will help them to be happy, religious, and successful when they reach adulthood. A wise mother emailed me once saying, I truly believe we live out part of our karma through our children, and we grow and improve as they do. Though parents may think they are just helping their children improve, in truth, parents cannot separate themselves from their children. The child's growth and spiritual evolution is the parent's growth and spiritual evolution as well. There are many qualities we want our children to possess. We will explore 9 of these to see what children should be taught or not taught by parents to develop each quality. And today we're just taking the first quality to develop, which is a positive self-concept. You'll notice when we go through them all that they all start with a P. Easier to remember. Positive self-concept arises when we think of ourselves as a worthy individual deserving of a wonderful life. So we may take that for granted if we have a positive concept, but many people don't think of themselves as worthy or deserving. So that causes a challenge. What are your thoughts on how a parent can accomplish this? Worthy individual, deserving a wonderful life. It is through being generous with your praise and appreciation, making children know they are loved and valued. Who they are makes a difference, and life is full of promise. Unfortunately, many children reach adulthood with a negative self-concept, feeling that others are better than they are and life has little to offer. A negative self-concept is developed through verbally running down a child, through teasing, joking, or insulting remarks. This, of course, needs to be stopped and replaced with encouragement and praise. When it becomes necessary to correct misbehavior, it is wise to distinguish between the person and the behavior. The behavior was foolish, not the person. For example, you can tell your children when they misbehave, what you did was very foolish, but you were smart, and I'm sure you know better now and won't do that again. Parents should also not allow their children to call each other names such as fat or lame. Having a positive concept about one's outer self allows the child to accept an important Hindu teaching. What is that teaching? The teaching is that one's inner self is a divine being, a radiant soul. In other words, there's no way you can accept that teaching if you have a negative self-concept. You're stuck in the external of you. You have to have a positive self-concept to get to the internal concept that one's inner self is a divine being, which is the goal. Gurudeva wrote, "Praise your children, celebrate their divinity, enjoy them and enjoy good times with them." And that's the end of that part. So next we're moving on to Pub Desk on using the power of affirmation, which further develops the idea of a positive self-concept. So these two pieces fit nicely together. Okay, the question is the wrong question here. It should say, what is a negative and what is a positive self-concept? Oh, just a review, because we defined that in the last one. This Publisher's Desk was written based counseling many individuals over the years who lack self-confidence when facing major tasks such as important exams at school or projects at work. Provides a specific technique for improving confidence and manifesting a more successful future. We begin with a question. Do you ever doubt yourself? In other words, do you on a rare occasion, now and then, or regularly have a negative self-concept? What exactly is a positive self-concept? It is thinking of yourself as a worthy individual, deserving of a wonderful life, fully capable of achieving it. Unfortunately, many of us reach adulthood, etc., not feeling that way. And that happens because while growing up, we are criticized constantly or cruelly by our parents and teachers. Yes, it's not just the parents. Teachers can cause even more grief than the parents. In pursuing spiritual unfoldment, why is a positive self-concept so important? We just touched on that point. It allows us to identify with our spiritual nature so that we truly feel we are a divine being. Swami Vivekananda liked to stress man's ability to achieve greatness. Whatever you think, that you will be. If you think yourself weak, weak you will be. If you think yourself strong, strong you will be. Shows how impressionable the mind is. Gurudeva often stressed man's inner perfection. Deep inside we are perfect this very moment, and we have only to discover and live up to this perfection to be whole. We have taken birth in a physical body to grow and evolve into our divine potential. We are inwardly already one with God. Our religion contains the knowledge of how to realize this oneness and not create unwanted experiences along the way. Let's look for a moment at the concept of changing our self-concept from a negative one to a positive one. If our physical body becomes weak due to illness, after the illness is gone, everyone knows that we can, through consistent exercise, regain our normal strength again. If, however, our outlook on life has become negative because of experiencing a period of difficult experiences, and we feel that we just can't be successful, we tend to think our state of mind is something that cannot be changed. Interesting, but that is the default perspective. If you get physically sick, you know you can get well. If you get mentally discouraged, you don't know you can move yourself out of discouragement. You think you're stuck forever. How can we change our self-concept from a negative one to a positive one? And, of course, that's the title of the pub desk. We can do so through the power of affirmation, which remolds the subconscious mind. The idea behind affirmations is that through the repetition of positive statements, we can improve our self-concept, make greater progress on the spiritual path, and, in general, increase our magnetism to success. To be successful, positive self-concept is essential. For this, the use of affirmations can be quite helpful. Gurudeva elucidates the basis for affirmations in the Cognizant Ability resource in the back of his book, Merging with Shiva. The future is created by the impressions we have put into the subconscious in the past. And those impressions we are placing there in the present. Many impressions that go into the subconscious mind are the actions of our life and our reactions to these actions, both of which shape the experiences we have in the future in a haphazard way. Affirmations, on the other hand, are carefully chosen impressions we are deliberately placing in our subconscious mind to produce specific results in the future. And affirmation is a series of positive words repeated time and time again in line with a visual concept. Such a statement can be repeated mentally or preferably verbally many times a day. The idea is if one feels I can't, he cannot. If he is always criticizing himself and lamenting over what he cannot do, then he can reverse this pattern and change the flow of magnetic mental force, enliven its intensity by saying orally and feeling through all the pores of his body, I can, I will, I am able to accomplish what I plan. Gurudeva calls this remolding the subconscious and gives useful insights to seekers on how to accomplish this. What does Gurudeva suggest? My devotees succeed by remolding subconscious magnetic forces. They purge the dross through writing and burning past transgressions and current problems, and then use positive affirmation. That's a sutra. So a two-step process. In other words, affirmations work better after you've done your Vasanada Tantra. Vasanada Tantra is, what would you say? It's giving the house reasonable cleaning, but then positive affirmations are like after the reasonable cleaning, you're putting everything in its place, polishing it in a very refined way. So you can't do that before you clean the house in a fairly decent manner. So Vasanada Tantra followed by positive affirmations, but we don't have to wait if we haven't completed our Mahavasana Tantra. It's just that positive affirmations work better after we do complete it. One point that is important to make relates to a popular New Age movement called The Secret. Their philosophy, as stated on their website, is that all individuals have the same inherent ability to change every aspect of life and turn any weakness or suffering into strength, power, unlimited abundance, health, and joy. Everything is possible. Nothing is impossible. There are no limits. Whatever you can dream of can be yours when you use the secret. Too good to be true. However, in recommending the use of affirmations, Hinduism recognizes that different individuals bring different karma and dharma into this life from past lives, and therefore do not have the same ability to effectively use affirmations. So we've all had different paths. Some will be more successful at it than others. Gurudeva gives us a threefold key to successful affirmations. What is it? This is really important. Threefold key. It is when repeating the affirmation to simultaneously think, visualize, and feel what the affirmation is manifesting. So think, visualize, feel. Let's look more closely at these three aspects of affirmations with the example of I can, I will, I am able to accomplish what I plan. Think means consciously being aware of what the affirmation means. When we are fully focused on what we are saying, we know what it means. But it is easy when you do an affirmation many times a day. After a while, your mind is thinking about something else. What am I going to eat for breakfast? Are there any chocolates left? Your mind has become divided. If we have a divided mind, if we are thinking about something else, at the same time, we are not grasping the meaning of the affirmation. We are just repeating the affirmation out of habit. So that makes it not as effective when we don't think about the meaning. Visualize means to create a mental picture illustrating the affirmation. We need to picture something in our mind, which is an illustration, just like drawing on paper that illustrates the concepts in the affirmation. We need to hold this visualization at the same time as we are understanding what the words mean. We can change the visualization now and then. It doesn't always have to be the same one. That again keeps it from becoming a habit. An example of a visualization for the affirmation, I can, I will, I am able to accomplish what I plan, is to see yourself sitting at a desk planning the remodeling of a room in your home, followed by the image of doing the carpentry for the room. So you need a very specific example that you're visualizing, which you can change. Feel means to have the same feeling you will have when this is consistently happening in your life. In the case of this affirmation, it is the feelings of confidence and success from being able to accomplish what you plan. You need to feel now how you will feel in the future when you are successful and confident. Maybe you don't know how it will feel. Maybe you never felt that way, so you have to make a leap. Find those feelings of confidence and success and have those present while we are doing the affirmation. This is the part that people sometimes leave out because they don't realize its importance. So feeling. In repeating the affirmation, I can, I will, I'm able to accomplish what I plan, you may find that during this exercise you find yourself feeling, I can't, I won't, I am not able. If that is the case, it shows that there is a strong negative self-concept in the subconscious mind. Therefore, great benefits to one's spiritual and material life will occur if this exercise is continued for a long period of time, which will result in the negative self-concept being replaced by a positive one. So we just have to keep at it. It's a slow process, changing the subconscious mind. If you like, a longer affirmation can be used in your daily practice, such as the following one. When done in the early morning, this affirmation is particularly good for setting a positive mood for the coming day. I am now open to a flow of spiritual energy in which I perceive the most worthy course of action for this day. My service, being selfless, opens new doors of supply, making available all of the tools required so that my work will be beautiful, energetic, to the highest degree. A simple affirmation for financial abundance is, I will always have sufficient money to meet all my needs. Notice it doesn't say wants, it says needs. Another one, purely spiritual nature affirms our identity as an infinite and immortal spiritual being. It is most effective when repeated several times before sleep and upon awakening. I am not my body, mind, or emotions. They are but shells of the infinite energy that flows through them all. I am this energy. I am its source. However, as in the saying, be careful what you wish for, the power of affirmation needs to be used with wisdom. Affirmations remold the subconscious mind and thereby change your future. Therefore, we need to be careful that the future we are creating is one in which the responsibilities and challenges are within our abilities to successfully handle. It is wiser to choose a future that is a natural step up in life from where we are than one that is many, many steps away from us. For example, it is a natural next step for someone who is renting an apartment to purchase a modest house. However, purchasing an extravagant mansion would probably be too big a step up to successfully handle. It is important to understand the difference between affirmations and mantras. Let me share a situation to illustrate that came in on email a number of years ago. Quote, I am not enjoying good health since some months. I have done all my checkups. My doctor told me that everything is perfect and normal, but I can't eat well and I'm losing weight. I am following an Ayurvedic treatment. I would be grateful if a mantra could be given by Bodhinatha for my recovering. My response was, sorry to hear about your health problems. It is positive that your doctor says everything is perfect and normal. Perhaps more exercise is needed to re-stimulate the pranas of the body, such as a long walk once a day. In Gurudeva's teachings, we do not give mantras for anything but spiritual progress. For other needs, we use affirmations. We could repeat an affirmation on a daily basis, such as a simple affirmation for health. Through the grace of God, gods, and Guru, I am healthy and physically strong. A few years ago, one of our devotees asked for an affirmation to help him get off to a good start in his new business. I checked with another devotee who was a professional salesperson for his advice, and based on it created the following affirmation for a business that involves sales. Example used is selling insurance. I beseech the blessings of Lord Ganesha for the wisdom to listen attentively to my clients, fully understand their insurance needs, and thus be better able to provide them the most suitable product. In this way, through Lord Ganesha's grace, my clients are enriched and satisfied, and my life insurance agency is abundantly successful, providing bountiful wealth to my family and religion. The stereotype of a great salesman is someone who is a great talker, right? They can talk you into buying anything, claim its value is greater than it is, etc. But this is saying from this master salesman, you have to be a good listener, see what the person wants. For many years, as part of our pre-dawn worship, our monastery in Hawaii has repeated an affirmation. We still do that today. We recite it aloud together. It has been effective in reminding all the monastics of the overview of what we are doing and the importance of integrating the blessings of the deities into our everyday affairs. A few years ago, we developed a similar affirmation for families to use to repeat together every morning. First line of the affirmation uses the name of the family, so we will use Shivam as the family name to illustrate. We, the Shivam family, beseech the grace of Lord Ganesha to manifest his blessings of peace and harmony within our home, and to joyfully fulfill the spiritual, social, economic, cultural, and educational goals of family life as outlined in Hindu scripture. We remain close-knit and cultivate unity by talking together about the experiences of our day, extending our affection and harmony to other families as well. We take time for training, and we value mistakes as opportunities to learn. To us, the guest is truly God. Welcomed and honored with heartfelt hospitality. Through our thoughtfulness, care, and compassion, we allow abundance of gold to accumulate within our home. We give generously of our income and our time to further our religion. We are filled and thrilled with God's cosmic energy, creatively alive and in tune with the universe. A topic related to affirmations is dealing with worry. Worry is a common problem we all face now and then. To rid ourselves of worry about a general situation, such as a worry about the world running out of oil, the affirmation, "I'm all right now," is a good one. For specific situations in your life, a more specific affirmation is appropriate. For example, you are recently laid off from work, thus you regularly worry about finding a new job. When you find yourself worrying about finding a new job, switch instead to a positive visualization of yourself being hired. Develop an affirmation that utilizes the same visualization and repeat it every day as well. For example, I have a new job as an accountant for an excellent company. In conclusion, through repeating positive statements, you can improve your self-concept, make greater progress on the spiritual path, and in general increase your magnetism to success. Remember, success depends upon utilizing the threefold key. Think about the meaning, create a visualization for this meaning, and feel how you will feel when this is consistently happening in your life. And that's both parts of our first topic. Second topic and third topic are short. Second topic, answering questions sent to satsang@hindu.org. Getting a few questions every week, which is great. Gurudeva cautions us in recognizing down-up people compared with up-down rebirths. How do we restrain judgment and avoiding these others? So this is the idea of someone who's a young soul who's pretty low-minded in their behavior. The Western concept is we consider them evil and different. So how do we avoid that approach? So I think the key is the belief that all souls are maturing spiritually and eventually reach moksha. All souls are maturing spiritually and all souls eventually reach moksha. It's just that souls are in different places along this path to moksha. They're not all even close to one another, spread from the very beginning to the very end. And there's a story, fun story on that one. Some of you have heard this one before. I was in Texas, Permian Basin, Texas, and satsang group. Father expressed a concern, and for those of you not familiar with Texas, it's famous for Baptists, Christians and their conversion efforts. So they put a lot of effort in conversion. I jokingly say Hindus put effort in going to the temple, Baptists put effort in visiting people's homes and trying to convert them. So some truth to that. It's a high priority. So this was going on in school. I think that child was probably around 8 years old. So in the U.S., the Hindu child was approached and told he was going to hell because he didn't believe in Jesus. So the child got all upset, went home, told his parents. Parents got upset. I'm not sure what else they did besides talk to me about it at a satsang. So, but that's Texas. You have to be prepared for that. Even at the young age of 8, you get approached by those who want to convert you. So what was the problem? The problem was the child didn't know what to say. The child had not been prepared for that encounter. So my answer was, well, you need to prepare the child for that encounter. It's going to happen the child's whole life. And you need to give the child an answer that's age appropriate. So the answer that the child will give at age 8 is quite different than the answer the child will give at age 18. So the answer I thought was, well, in our religion, everyone goes to heaven eventually. Meaning, which religion is better? A religion where you have a good chance of going to hell, or a religion where it's guaranteed eventually you'll go to heaven? So obviously the latter. So it was showing Hinduism was a better religion, because everybody eventually goes to heaven. And our third topic, some wisdom from Yogaswami's words of our master. Learn how to remain always happy. How is that accomplished? How do we learn to remain always happy? Well, there's a couple of answers, not just one. The one that I'm giving relates to awareness. We can look at always remaining happy as a two-step process. The first step is the intellectual understanding that you can move awareness out of unhappy states of consciousness. In other words, many people don't think that way. They think, I am unhappy. I'm stuck here. This and this happened. Now I'm unhappy. Nothing I can do about it. So the first thing we need to know is the concept that your awareness has moved into the state of consciousness that is unhappiness. Just like it moved into it, it can move out of it. You are not the unhappiness. You are the awareness. Okay. That's half the process. That's the first part. Oop. Okay, this rough slide is not there. Okay, so I'll have to give you the second part. The slide's not where it should be. Second part is we need to practice that enough times that we can always do it. Well, that could take hundreds of times. We have to force ourselves to move awareness out of a negative, unhappy state of mind to a positive one. And once we've done that enough times, we can always do it. So that's the two-step process to learn how to always, one approach to learning how to always be happy is to master the ability of awareness to move out of unhappy states of consciousness, first through understanding that you can do it because you're awareness and not the state of consciousness, and secondly, doing it enough times that it actually becomes something that's easy to accomplish. Thank you very much. Om. Om. Om